Happy Wife, Happy Life. We're your hosts. I'm Kendahl, Landreth.
And I'm Jordan Myrick.
And we are two incredibly unqualified,
but deeply in love comedians who are here to help you with all things relationships. And on today's episode, we're talking dating in Europe. If you're like, hey, dating in Europe, what the fuck? It's because we just got back from Europe.
We're just desperate to talk about it.
We're desperate to talk about our 2-week vacation to Italy.
It was incredible. I feel like this is the most annoying thing I'm ever going to say. So everyone just prepare yourself.
Buckle up.
But after my hospital visit and after the flooding of our home, I kept saying on the trip, I was like, Jordan, this trip to Italy, we just needed it. Like, we needed this. This is what we needed.
No, I think that's okay. I think you're allowed to say that.
Well, I should probably be able to, like, process my feelings and improve my life without having to go on a big trip to Italy. But I do feel like we needed it, and I feel like we are in such a better way now.
Yes. Even though the construction on our house is still not done.
Oh, can you believe that? It's just every single time. Today they came over to fix something and they go, oh, we forgot to bring a mirror. We brought a shower door. I'm like, what?
Okay.
How did you accidentally even do that?
What?
But look, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Honestly, now it's all confined to one room, which I'm like, take all the time you need.
A little better, yeah.
Before it was the full house. Anyways, I'm not going to make you guys listen to me rant again about our house construction. My point is we just had so much fun in Italy.
I know. Instead, we're going to rant about Italy.
We're going to rant. I will say, there's something about leaving America that is like, I guess it's the grass is greener on the other side. Sometimes it seems like in other countries the grass is so much greener, and in some ways it is. But I think it's good when you travel out of the country. By the end of it, I am like that noise on TikTok that's just the eagle being like, caca!
Yeah.
That's how I feel coming back into America.
Yeah, because I'll get ice with Dr. Pepper. Why has Dr. Pepper not made it to other countries? And why won't Dr. Pepper work?
That's so weird. They honestly, a lot of them don't. Like, think of all the sodas. Mountain Dew.
Sure.
I don't know why I couldn't say that. Mountain Dew.
She's scared.
Do you know why? Because when I was growing up, my mom was always like, if you have one sip of Mountain Dew, your whole body will be infiltrated with millions of tumors.
And that's true.
So she used to tell me. I know, but now I'm drinking Diet Baja Blast. I can't. If a Baja Blast is bad for you, I don't even know what it is in a Diet Baja Blast.
I know.
That's just straight up.
But this is my thing.
Acid.
I get it being illegal, banned, or whatever to have Mountain Dew in Europe, but they have Coke. Why can't they have Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Maybe there's a different dye in it that's not good.
And as I said earlier,
flavor.
Why won't Dr. Pepper work with me?
Okay, we can't do this today.
I'm just wondering.
We cannot do this today.
I'm just curious. But yeah, so I come home, I get a huge, big gulp filled with ice.
Yeah.
Filled with Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. And how did it feel?
Incredible.
Yeah, I've been having Celsius's zero sugar Gatorade. I had 3 0 sugar Gatorades yesterday.
You did. It was crazy.
It was really bad.
It was really
And
nuts.
I feel on top of the world today. I feel completely hydrated. My skin looks amazing.
Yeah. One thing that was funny to me is that we had a clip that went viral where we were making fun of Europe, and then everyone got really mad about it that's from Europe. And then we were getting so much hate about it while we were in Europe.
Were you scared at all?
No.
You feel like someone's going to see you and be like, that's her?
No, I think I had one moment because of like intrusive thoughts where I was like, what if we like get to Italy and then like as we're trying to come into the country, like at border control, they were like, you can't come in because you joked about it.
No, other countries don't really do that as much as we do that now.
Absolutely.
Apparently. But I honestly will say people were so nice. And I
thought you meant in the comments of that video. I was like, no, there
No, I love the people in our haters always have such good points.
I was so confused by, sorry, can I talk about that viral clip for a second?
Sure.
I was so confused by it. It's always very interesting to me when people choose to be intentionally like obtuse about something.
Yeah.
Because even in that clip, I say, we've been to your countries, we've been to the UK, and people are like, Europe's not a country. And I'm like, I explicitly didn't say that.
Yeah.
I very clearly didn't say that Europe's a country.
100%.
And then also people are mad because they're like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, why are you so mad? I just said it was annoying.
I know.
When Europeans are like, American food, But
it's also they're doling it out and they can't take it. How do you say that?
If you can dish it out, you better be able to take it.
And they can't. I'm like, all anyone ever does is make fun of Americans. And so I'm like, just for 2 seconds, just take it.
Well, I wasn't even making fun of them. I was just like, it's so crazy to me because they'll be like, we've seen your portions. And I'm like, okay, well, I've seen your portions. And then they're like, that's at a tourist restaurant. And I'm like, sorry, when you come to America, are you eating at my house? Like, what are you talking about? You think I'm going to tourist places in Europe and then you think you're coming to America and you're not eating at a tourist restaurant?
Also, though, okay, portions maybe, but we asked multiple Italian people. I was like, what do you eat besides pasta? And honestly, I was like, before I'd have been like, that's an offensive question.
Not even
because
pasta.
Of course they eat more than pasta. Of course. I kept going, what do you eat besides Italian food? What do you eat besides Italian food? And they were all like, oh, well, I have Sicilian food. I was like, okay, no, besides Tuscan food. I was like, what do you eat? They're like, I just have pasta every single. I was like, that is crazy. What? And I was nauseous 4 days in. I hadn't had a vegetable in days, and we were eating at people's homes. We were not eating at tourist restaurants.
This is what I'll say. I appreciate and respect the locality of it, and I respect their love of their thing.
It's incredible.
But I also think it's interesting how uninterested they are in other cultures. But Italy's a very homogenous place.
Well, part of me appreciates that they came up with the food so long ago, and they said,
this is what we're doing.
This is what we're doing. And we don't need to do anything else. But I asked our tour guide, I was like, but what other foods? And he was like, they really just eat that. But we had that when we went to Copenhagen. I was like, I can't have another tuna open face sandwich or I'm going to lose my damn mind. And I love tuna.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is that everyone was so nice to us. And I have only been to Europe a couple times, I guess twice now, three if you count when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And there's always been,
I'd count that.
Like anywhere, people are nice. Some people are rude, like when you go anywhere. But this time there was a different energy. This time I felt like people would see that we were gay, and everyone, even when we were in the Paris airport, people were like, I hope you enjoyed your stay. They're like looking at us
really feel bad for people who don't seem like they voted for Trump because of Trump.
Yeah, people were so nice to us in a way that was like, or they'd be very neutral and then we would like hold hands or something, and then all of a sudden they would be like, oh my God, what can we do for you?
Yeah.
Let us buy you something.
I will say though,
what?
Every single place we went in Italy, immediately they were like, you guys are sisters? And we were like, no, we're married. And they would go, oh, cool.
I was like, but we get asked that a little bit in America, but people ask that. It was like every person asked if we were sisters. We do not look like sisters.
I think we almost never get asked in America if we're sisters.
That one time at that one place.
Exactly. But that's how infrequently we do.
Right. But
you're able to be like that Europe, one time in that one place.
But at Europe, it was every single person.
Even, I feel like occasionally we will get, are you sisters, from like a very old woman, which does not offend me whatsoever.
Honestly, none of it offends me.
I mean, yeah, none of it offends me. But I'm like, I understand why she might think that, but we would meet like a young, cool person who seemed gay and they would be like, are you guys sisters? Also, one of the most fun things we did was we went on a food tour in Venice.
Oh my God, fun.
When we got there were two guys that were together and I saw that they were both wearing wedding rings and I was like,
gay.
What's their deal? Or are they brothers? What's going on? And then our tour guide immediately, I was like, this guy's gay. And we were all gay. It was another gay couple and then us and then our gay tour guide, and it was so fun.
It was so funny, and you don't know how good it is until you don't have it. Because then we went on another tour. I won't.
Oh my God, we went on. I can't say it.
Oh sure, they don't listen to this podcast.
We went on a horseback riding tour, and the two people were from Florida. First of all, they would not tell me where in Florida they were
Jordan
from.
was about to like get off her horse to be like, "Where are you from?"
Well, I'm just like, first of all, connection is beautiful, right? It's why we travel. It's why we meet other people, because we all just want to connect. These people already, I can tell, probably not our vibe. But I'm trying to be nice because we're all on this horseback riding tour. And by all of us, I mean one very cold French woman, the two of us, this couple from Florida. And I'm like, oh, where are you guys from? Well, she started talking to us. I was like, maybe just none of us will speak. She was like, you girls been on a horse before?
Well, because you know what? She thought she was going to walk in there and be the pro. Little did she know she was walking into an arena with a professional horseback rider.
Yeah.
And I was being
horseback riding lessons.
I was being what? Super humble.
You were being very humble.
I didn't even say.
And I was being what?
Brave.
Very brave.
And very strong. And because Jordan never been on a horse before.
And I was scared.
And it was scary. And I will say, these horses were, well, they were a little.
Mine was cool.
Yours was great, but she sounded like she was maybe too old to be doing this tour.
Sure.
She was literally like snorting the whole time. I was like, is Jordan's horse okay? My horse literally kept rearing back and getting like scared and like jumping around like he was gonna sprint away. And I was so calm and so cool. Anyway, so this woman comes, she goes, "You ladies ride a horse before?"
She did not have a Southern accent. They were from Florida.
Maybe I just auto-corrected that in my head.
Yeah,
that
they did not have a Southern accent whatsoever. They were from Florida. And she was like, "You girls been on a horse before?" And we were like, I was like, "No, but she has many times." And then the woman was like, And I was like, "Have you?" And she was like,
because that killed her.
"Yes." And I was like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Where are you guys from?" And she was like, "Florida." And I was like, "Oh, what part?" "I grew up in Florida." And she was like, "South Florida." And I was like, "Oh, I grew up in Fort Lauderdale." "Where in South Florida?" And she was like, "North of Boca Raton." And I was like, "Okay, all right. You think I'm going to come to your house?" "I'm not interested in you. I never want to meet you again, but I do want to know what part of Florida you're from."
Yeah. And then the guy was like, "Stand up on your horse. Stand up on your horse." Like, not on it, but, stand up with your feet and that, like, stand up. And she couldn't do it. And you could tell her ego got bruised. Because now she's like, "I thought I was going to come in here and be the pro. Kendahl's ridden a horse before," even though I didn't even say that. Jordan said I'd ridden. I didn't even say that because I was being really humble and really low key. And she goes, "Well, I'm having a hard time standing up because I'm used to riding with a horn." I was like, "Honey, if you can't stand up on a horse without holding a horn, you're not ready to be standing on a horse." And then what did she say while we were walking up with the horses while we were on the tour? Her husband goes,
The embarrassing thing?
"Oh, should I not say?"
You can say it.
I hated this. This was
mortifying to me.
Really? To me, this is the only redeeming thing she
Kendahl
did.
thought this was funny. I thought this made me want to drive my horse into the road. Her husband looked out at the
I'll
view.
play the husband.
No, we can't role play it. It feels too real. I have to just slowly explain the scenario. I'm so sorry. It's too upsetting. I'll let you say the thing I don't want to say, though.
Oh, well, good.
Her husband looked out at the view of Tuscany while we were on these horses, and he said, "Mamma mia," which, in his defense,
I liked it.
I did actually hear multiple Italian people say "Mamma mia" while we were there. I was like, okay,
fun.
clearly this is like a fun colloquial thing they say. So he goes, "Mamma mia" at the view. And then the woman very slowly says,
"Papa Pia."
And then takes an extremely long pause and then says,
"The horse is having diarrhea."
And she was behind me. So then I became scared that my horse was having diarrhea. And I was like, "Wait, what?" And she wouldn't answer me. So I think she
said, "I will not tell you where I live."
Yeah, I think she was just saying that to herself.
No, they were nice. My fear is always...
No, they weren't.
Well, but okay, my fear is always that I misread a situation and then they left that horseback riding trip and they were like, "Wasn't that so fun with those nice girls?" And then they like...
"I'm going to vote differently."
They didn't tell us they voted for Trump. I just assumed. It was all over there. You could tell. But it was...
They were fine. They were inoffensive, God bless. And at one point, she took a picture of us and then airdropped it to me, which was
That was a moment
nice.
of connection.
That was a moment of connection.
But I'm sorry, Gen X, if you're listening, the wine stuff, you guys have to take a second and put the wine down.
You guys are alcoholics.
The way you drink wine is actually disturbing. And in Italy, what I will say I was surprised by, obviously I know people are like, you drink a lot of wine when you go to Italy. But I think I was like, yeah, maybe when you're touring Italy or when you're, I don't know. There's no way to conceive how much wine they drink. They set it on your table, no water. They set it on your table without you ordering it like it's tap water.
Well,
and you
not
drink
everywhere. Kendahl is specifically referring to the fact that when we were in Italy, we went to a wedding. And that's why we were in Italy. And Kendahl drank so much, she became incapacitated.
Incapacitated is not true. But they gave me at dinner a white wine, a red wine, and a Prosecco together, and then you take a sip and they'd refill. I was drunker than I've ever been.
Well, I
was sicker than I've ever been.
Yeah,
I kept screaming to Jordan at night. I said, "I have alcohol poisoning."
And I was like, "You don't. It's fine." But I clocked that you were drinking too much. Like, because Kendahl's not really a drinker, and she was drinking a lot, and I was like, "You're drinking a lot." And she's like, "I really am not. I really haven't had very much to drink." And I think
I kept looking at my glasses and they were full.
Yeah, I think maybe you didn't realize that they were refilling your beverages because you probably had
25 glasses of wine. I don't know.
You probably literally had 14 alcoholic beverages because you had 4 drinks at the cocktail party, which you chose to have, which was crazy.
That was on me.
And then I know before the ceremony you had some wine.
I know.
And then at dinner you had multiple wines and multiple champagnes.
But you know what's hard? And I read this one time.
What's hard?
Here's how I'm the victim.
What's hard?
Is that I did hear that when you have ADHD, and this is true for me, is that you have to drink a bunch of wine.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, they say that they're, and you know this to be true. My friend Eric makes fun of me all the time. We go to BJ's sometimes and we'll get the margaritas. They come in a pint glass.
Yeah.
You guys.
Classy.
There's a place in my hometown that serves mimosas in a pint glass. That's criminal.
Crazy.
That is criminal. You're setting me up for failure. But he's always like, you drink it immediately. And I read a thing one time that was like, I watched a TikTok one time that was like, people with ADHD, because they're always moving their hands, whatever drink is in their hand, they just will continue to drink it so fast because they're trying to move their hands. And I do the same thing with water. I never drink water, but if I'm at a restaurant, why do you look so upset?
You're on so much medication though. Like, why is it not doing more? Do you know what I mean? Like, why?
I don't know. I should get a higher dose. I tried to do a higher dose of medication, but I got enraged.
I remember that was really scary.
Okay, don't say it was
scary.
It makes it sound like I was like endangering people. But I just like had to go on a lower dosage. But I'm on a pretty high dosage. I thought my dosage of ADHD medication was normal, but the more I talk to people, I'm like, oh, I think I'm on like a really high dosage. Anyways.
Kendall's always just like, I have to drink 400 glasses of wine. I can't close any cabinets. I can't be responsible for knowing where my wallet is because I have ADHD. And I'm like, I hear you. What's the medicine for? What's the medicine doing?
Oh, because it would be so much worse.
Scary.
But what was I going to say? Oh, we're coming off this horse tour. We've just done this beautiful horse ride through Tuscany.
Oh, yes.
Immediately. And I heard so many Gen Xers do this. Sorry to call it a specific generation, but I just simply have to. Literally, the second the tour guide for the other two people come up and he's like, how was the horseback ride? And the man goes, it'd be better if I had a glass of wine in my hand. And then he was like, can you get me a glass of wine on the horse? He's joking, but he's also not.
Yeah.
Can you give me a glass of wine? I wish I could hold the reins with this hand and hold a glass of wine in this hand. I was like, it is 11 a.m. You're on a horse.
Yeah.
Please calm yourself.
Yeah.
Calm yourself.
Yeah. Let's say something bad about the other generations so people don't feel hurt.
Well, no, because it's going to start an argument because I'm Gen Z and you're millennial. And
yeah.
You cannot take a single bit of millennial criticism. I've tried.
So my point was I'll say something about millennials and you'll say something about Gen Z.
Okay.
But I guess.
Okay, boomers.
Which one's that?
I like boomer. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I love them.
Actually, I don't think anything's wrong with them.
Boomers are who? Above Gen X?
Above Gen X.
Oh.
And then there's, what do they call them? The silent generation?
Who's that?
Above boomers, I think. Is that wrong?
Are they alive?
Well, some of them. Yeah, the silent generation.
How old would they be?
Like 77 plus.
Oh.
And they're like, why did they call them the silent generation?
I think it's they grew up during the war.
Sad.
Because I'll tell you something.
Guys.
My grandma was not silent.
Yeah, neither are mine.
I wish she'd kept a little... Rest in peace. Anyways. Boomers, what do we like about boomers?
Boomers are...
I like...
So boomer is how old? Why am I bad at this?
They're just like, you're above your parents.
So like my grandparents.
Maybe, yeah. It depends on how old your grandparents. Like anything, it's probably like, but probably boomers, yeah. Boomers are the ones people are like, make fun of because they're kind of like the Karens, or people talk about boomers being like, why kids just need to stop having avocado toast and they'd be able to buy a house type
I
of guy.
think boomers and Gen Z are so similar.
What? Okay. In what way?
I really do mean this.
Okay, let's hear it.
I think that Gen Z tends to use their powers for good and boomers tend to use their powers for evil, but I still do think there's a lot of overlap. I think both have a lot of intolerance. I think both think they're right about everything. And I think both are very loudly opinionated, sometimes on things that they don't know much about.
So you just learned what a boomer was.
No.
The second thing
I
I'll
was
say,
clarifying.
No.
Interesting, huh? All the traits that I just explained, Kendahl just did them as a Gen Z person.
here's
Interesting.
what I'll say about, I hate when people are like, Gen Z thinks they know everything. Because to me, I'm like, yeah, because we are the youngest generation. So find any generation, millennials included.
But I don't think...
When they're 18, I'm going to get in trouble for that later. When they're 18, they think they know everything.
I don't think millennials had that same energy. I think millennials were spineless in a lot of ways.
Millennials
are
are bottom
spineless in a lot of
energy.
ways. Yes, absolutely.
In a way that I find off-putting.
I understand. See, one of us is being defensive and one of us is not. I think that millennials don't have that energy because they're not like... Yeah, they're not like alpha enough. They're not like big dog.
Yeah.
I think millennials are paranoid about how much they don't know. And I think it's because we all watched 9/11 happen in live television
I
broadcast.
think that made you think we don't know.
I actually
What
really
we-
do.
yeah.
I think it like deeply affected the
Of
psyche
course.
of a lot of us.
Especially because they made you all watch it.
Well, kind of. I mean, I think I've said this before on the podcast, but I was like literally in school. I think I've said this before, but I was watching a Florida Marlins game on the TV in my elementary school for some reason in Florida. God
Thank
bless.
you to the Florida school
God
system.
bless. Why? Couldn't tell you. We were watching a Florida Marlins, I think preseason warm up even before the game.
Perfect.
And they turned that off to turn on 9/11 for us to watch the.
Can
the
you
second
tell the
plane
story
hit the
about
tower.
9/11 that's
Which
so
one?
funny?
Which one?
Sorry. The one about the guy in the costume.
The guy in the costume.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh my God. Yeah. This is not my story to tell, but recently I had heard, and a lot of you are probably going to be like, yeah, I already knew this.
This is
but
to me, when I heard this, I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my
I
life.
recently heard that they were shooting the movie Master of Disguise, and Dana Carvey was in the turtle costume when 9/11 happened. And they had to like tell him while he was in the turtle costume and the turtle makeup. And then they all had to like do a moment of silence
And he's
for
just
9/11
it.
in the turtle costume.
It's so funny to me.
Wild.
I don't know why.
And I have no clue if that's true.
No, it has to be. Because
But
it's too
that's-
random.
that's-
Who would come up with that? It's like a lie that's like, what?
Absolutely.
It has to be true.
Okay, but back to it. I do think Gen Z and I think boomers are both very like, I'm right, you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm very smart, you're whatever. And once again, I think Gen Z ends up using it for good a lot of times, but I also still think they still sometimes use it
No,
for
I mean,
evil.
we're like the most conservative generation, aren't we? Or something like that. Like the men, we voted very conservatively.
I think so, which is really shocking because I think of Gen Z as being like kind of like loud, genderless, like pro-Palestine.
Yeah, but I think like anything they do, I think it's so hard to be like, this is what this generation's going to be like when they're 18.
Sure.
Because I'm like, I feel like when you're 18, you're just doing the opposite of what you're supposed to do. So I'm like, I feel like anywhere where people started to be like, it's okay to be gay, they were like, actually, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with them being Gen Z. I think it's just like they're 18. But I don't know. Also, they
If
listen
you
to,
are
like,
Gen Z and you're conservative, that is
crazy.
so embarrassing. You have access to a computer.
but that's the problem. I think they like listen to podcasts. You guys, we have to stop listening to podcasts.
We have to stop podcasts.
But I mean, honestly, okay, we are a true treat. I think a comedy podcast should be the only thing that's legal.
we're a true treat.
Comedy podcast is the only thing that's legal. We're like, we don't know anything. We're literally stupid. Do not take like news from us. But I'm like, any podcast where they're like giving you information, I'm sorry. I'm like, it should be legal.
Do you have a least favorite podcast?
Ours. I'm just kidding. No, I don't listen to podcasts. I am really bad. I love Good Hang with Amy Poehler.
Sure.
I genuinely like that show. I think she is such a treat because she really she's so curious about her guests.
Ooh.
And I was listening to it the other day and I was like, I want to try to be
You
better.
mean all her friends?
Yes, but I think even more that's sweet because it's like she
Okay.
already knows these people and also they do the same thing she does for a living.
Sure.
So it's like obviously if I had an astronaut on our podcast, I'd be like,
Whoa.
I have a million questions.
Yeah.
But it's like she has Tina Fey on her podcast who she's literally basically done the same job as. And she's like, Tina, I have hundreds of questions for you that I'm like, haven't you been friends for years? It's like,
Sure.
She's just so excited to know about people and she's a great podcast host, I think. My least favorite podcast, I don't have, the podcast I don't like, I do think there is like a disturbing amount of like news podcasts, quote unquote, on both sides. Sorry, where it's a little bit like, who is this person and
Yeah.
why are they giving this information?
Sure.
And I think it's hard because I'm never trying to be like elitist where I'm like, you need to go to college and get a degree in this specific thing in order to be a journalist. But I do think, and I think because I'm not a journalist, so I don't know, but I'm like, there are things that journalists need to do to be like good journalists. And I think a lot of the people online who are like, I'm a journalist, they're not like going through those steps. And I think they end up getting hate because people are like, well, you're saying you're a journalist, but then you're like also
You actually
kind of-
didn't go to school for journalism and you have no training in journalism.
well,
and
but even you're putting your own personal
spin.
because it's how can you not? I mean, it's like if you're like trying to talk about what's going on in our world, giving a bipartisan opinion is so hard, especially when you're living in a country where it's like absolute just wrong things are happening.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how can I talk on this without being like, this is wrong? But I think at the same time, it's like, these are all just people we don't know. We do not know these people. And I think it can become a dangerous thing where I'm like, I'll come across a TikToker who's like a 16-year-old boy who's like, his whole thing is that he like is a journalist.
Yeah, he like reiterates the news back to...
Yes, but he's just like in his room on a live stream. And I'm like, maybe this is great, but also no one's fact checking this man. And there are people that are taking it and just being like, yes, 100%. And that's why you get these. This is not even who cares. This is like old news. But I'm just like, I think then we see people on like how Gen Z voted a little bit conservatively. And it's like, yeah, because they're listening to these like men who, in these men's defense, I think half of them are not even saying they're journalists or political commentators. They're just like, I'm a dude, and here's what I think of Kamala Harris.
Well,
and then people are like, God,
has a little bit of a victim complex.
Okay.
And I think that maybe is driving some of them to be more conservative.
Like a victim in what? What would drive? I feel like a victim. What would the Conservative Party do for a victim?
Like men are like, I'm a victim.
Oh, 100%.
Or like white people are like, I'm a victim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or like rich people are like, I'm a
no,
victim.
that makes sense. I mean, yes.
Or like 100%. Racists are like, I'm a victim. Cis people.
No, I got
straight people.
That makes sense.
The president.
You think the president thinks he's a victim?
Yeah, absolutely.
But actually, like, I know he's always like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he goes home at night and he's like, all the reporters were so rude to me.
That's so funny to me.
I saw a clip of him the other day.
That makes me feel like I don't know. That is just like hard for me. In my head, sorry, there's a fuzz in my face. In my head, he's like, he goes home and he like laughs at everyone. And it's just like, this is so stupid.
No.
Like, he's so just horrible. Like, I don't even think he has feelings enough to care about that.
I think he thinks he's a victim.
That's so
I do
funny.
think that. The other day I saw a clip. I try to only read my news rather than watch my news because it's supposed to be better for your mental health, allegedly. So I try to do that more, but I did manage to see a clip of him where someone asks, they're like, you keep saying that like Democrats want to give health care to illegal immigrants, but in this bill or whatever, you like explicitly it states that like illegal immigrants like aren't included, whatever. So what are you talking about? And he's like, he like talked for a while about nothing, but then he goes, trust me, I have a big heart. I have a bigger heart than you, to the journalist. And I'm like, that's actually
it's insane.
One of the craziest things I've heard him say.
He said some things that I just like, it makes you just really, in my head, he's just like not thinking anything at all times except like momentary, like, I want this, I want this, I want this. You know what I mean?
I think to an extent, but I also think he's like, everybody is bad to me.
Yeah.
You know what I
giving
mean?
Gen Z, you're saying?
Yeah, I think Trump's Gen Z.
What if he was, you don't think he's more boomer?
I don't know. Well, I think they're so similar. That's what I
oh my God,
just said. Sorry.
Oh.
But I think that we could go to jail for what we just said. So I guess we should move on. Isn't that so funny? Sometimes I'm like,
no, I know. It's actually scary. Today's episode is sponsored by Good Wipes. Ooh, it's spooky season. Just make sure your undercarriage doesn't look like a discarded jack-o'-lantern. Clean up down there with Good Wipes. Good Wipes are flushable, plant-based wipes for the bathroom. They're everything you want out of traditional TP. They're soft, soothing, and safe for sensitive skin. 40% bigger and stronger than your average wipes. Good Wipes gets the job done. Now, you know, Jordan and I love spooky season. We get really into it, but I will tell you a type of scared that I don't like being, which is when I go to someone's house and the only thing they have to offer in their bathroom is stiff and thin toilet paper that clogs the toilet. Good Wipes is giving away free wipes. Want to try a free pack of Good Wipes? Just buy a pack at your local store, then head to goodwipes.com/wife, text them your receipt, and get reimbursed. Again, that's goodwipes.com/wife to get your free wipes. Good Wipes, because butts deserve better.
well, we're back in America, and I thought it would be fun to talk about dating things that are customary in Europe that are different from here in America.
Yeah.
So I asked our followers what are customs where they're from.
Oh, fun.
Because I thought we could talk about them and say
I
whether we
love
thought they
that.
were good or bad or wrong or right or if we want to do them.
Ooh, okay.
Isn't that fun?
Okay, I love it.
Isn't that so fun?
Why is French kissing called that? Was it started in France?
I think that the French are like, aren't they like famously kind of like sexy perverts?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I kind of thought like, no, I had no idea. I thought Italy was more known for being like sexy.
No, I think France is like the OG sexy pervert.
Really?
I think.
Wow. I have no idea. But it's funny. Do you ever think about kissing where you're just like, what are we doing actually? Like, why do we naturally as humans like just like shove our mouths together and we're like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, what?
No, I don't think that, but now I certainly will. That is.
I just sometimes think about it. It's like so weird. It's like no other species does that. Who was the first person to be like, I really like her?
You don't think
Put your
other animals do
orifice on
that?
me. No. Name another animal that kisses each other on the lips.
Hold on. I'm Googling it. Do animals kiss on the lips?
We saw 2 squirrels having sex in Venice.
Yes, many animals exhibit kissing-like behaviors.
No, kissing-like behavior.
Okay, well, for various reasons, but human-style lip kissing with pursed lips is unique to primates. So us and chimpanzees and
But
bonobos.
why? Who came up with that? Because it's not.
I don't think. But clearly, it is kind of natural. Monkeys are doing it.
Oh, they do.
That's
But maybe
what I
they
just
see
said.
us.
I just read that to you.
I thought primates was like our you know how there's like Homo sapien. I thought you were saying because aren't humans primates? I thought that
Humans. We have to move on. I actually can't. I can't indulge in any of this. Kendahl has a learning disability. Everyone be nice to her.
I have a learning disability, Mrs. Humans. I'm not even saying anything wrong. I'm just posing a question. I'm like, that's interesting. I'm like, someone was the first person to be like, I'm feeling drawn to shove my mouth
but that's my
on you.
point.
Oh.
No human was. Animals do it too. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Dogs lick each other's mouths. Dogs just don't have lips, so they can't kiss like we do. But dogs lick each other's mouths.
Do you think they would if they had lips?
I can't even think about
What
that.
if I put lipstick on Angel? Do you think she'd be able to do
You
it?
couldn't. She has no mouth.
Don't be scared, guys. Our dog has a mouth.
Elephants put their trunks together. Snakes rub their heads and bodies together.
We do that too.
Wolves lick each other's teeth. A lot of animals do
Don't
it.
try to do that on me. I don't like teeth stuff.
Sorry.
I do not like teeth stuff.
I can't have anything. Okay,
what's the
what
first
were we talking about? Oh, French kissing.
Oh, it's just like that's so. I don't know why it's called French kissing. You don't have like American kissing. You don't have
let's
like
look it up.
Japanese kissing. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Well, Tony and Ryan told us that joke about Australian kissing.
But that's kind of lingus.
It's a French kiss down south. Down under. Down south. Oh, sorry, I tried. Sorry, Tony and Ryan. Okay, why is it called French kissing? Because American and British travelers and servicemen in the late 19th and early 20th centuries perceived French women as more open to passionate, open-mouthed kissing than in their home cultures.
That's awesome. I love open mouth kissing.
That's awesome. I will never forget. I was making out with a girl in college, and are you jealous? Are you jealous? That's
you
the end of the thought. Are you jealous? No, I was making out with a girl in college, and we were like fully making out, but she was like not using any tongue. And I remember my brain being like, huh. And then we kind of like, you know, when you're kissing, you stop kissing for a second. She was like, I see that you like to use tongue. And I was like really self-conscious, but now as an older adult looking back, I'm like, I feel like maybe she was being weird.
Yeah, she was being weird because also I'm like part of kissing is you just have to like be like, what type of kisser is this person?
You have to match each other's energy.
And I remember dating a girl one time. She was a crazy kisser. It was crazy. Like I didn't mind it, but it's like we would make out, and it honestly it was like she was just licking my face.
Yeah.
Like it literally was like she was just licking my face, and I was like, you know what?
Go off. Yeah.
Go off. I really don't.
I
It's
think
fun.
that's fun. But my thing with this girl that was hard was that it was just open and then closing the mouth, but not like.
Sometimes I do that. I feel.
No, not like. Okay, you know how when you're making out, and then you kind of like end the making out, and it goes to just like some kisses without the tongue. That's not what I'm referring to.
Okay.
I'm talking like wide open. Yes, giving fish. Yes, absolutely, just like that. For a long time.
Oh man.
Something to think about. Okay, let's get into these customs.
Customs.
They're customs. They're dating customs.
I love it.
So we have a follower who is from Russia, and she sent us 2. She said 1 is girls never pay on a first date.
I would say that's like true here too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
What about gay people?
No, well I don't think I would say that, I mean, okay, well obviously someone has to pay. So if it's a gay couple,
Yeah, but isn't
someone has to pay. You can't just not pay. So of course, but I'm saying guy and girl, straight couple, I would say in America, guys always pay.
I don't agree with that.
Really? I feel like
Guys
it's like,
never paid when I dated men.
uh-oh.
Well, a lot of times people just split it.
Oh no, I feel like I'm sure people do that everywhere, but I do feel like in America, it's like that would be considered like the date did not go well.
Oh, I don't think that's true. I disagree with you. I think that in very kind of like, which obviously we're talking about male, female in general, but like if you're more kind of like progressive and like modern, and maybe you live in a city and maybe you're like a little alternative, I feel like splitting is very normal. I think
Wow, I would never. If I was dating men, no way.
I know,
You're
baby.
paying. To me,
I know.
To me, I'm like, you're so horrible already. I guess this is why I'm gay.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you already, like, our income on the dollar is already so that, like, how dare you?
Okay.
I think, I feel like maybe, I hate to disagree, but I do disagree with it on this. I think it's a huge American custom for the guy to pay.
I think it's a custom that exists, but I think in this day and age, it's more popular in like conservative sectors, more traditional sectors.
I even feel like if I don't know.
Because I feel like sometimes men are like, well, I don't want to offer to just pay for the whole thing because that seems like condescending and like antiquated.
But that's giving like beta. I'm just like,
you're gay.
Like,
you don't know what you're talking about.
I just feel like if I was on a date with a man and he didn't pay, I'd be like, interesting. That's interesting. I feel like most straight women I know, it's like they would expect for the man to pay.
You know, literally 3 straight people, and I can name them.
Yeah, and they all make sure the man pays.
Do they?
Yeah.
The second thing is this person says if you don't bring flowers on a first date, you have no game.
Oh, I think people think of that as like
corny.
It's giving fedora on a first date.
Sure.
I was always a flower person on a first date if I really liked someone. But it's always hard because I feel like when I was dating, it was like a lot of Tinder dates or Hinge dates. So you've gotten to know a person. And sometimes you were already going on the first date being like, I kind of like you.
Sure.
And then I'd be more likely to bring flowers, but not like on just a first. I don't know. I maybe did that once.
I don't really like flowers that much. No. I don't like cut flowers particularly. So that's not something I would do or think to do. And then also I feel like it's kind of just like, oh, great, a thing to hold. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, depending on what the date is, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I
think with men, it can feel a little like, which is me being too hard on someone. But I'm like, sometimes it feels like men are like, this is what a girl wants. I know girls, they like flowers.
I think it's the same thing with men insisting to pay, though. I think all of that feels like in the same category. He's insisting to pay. He brought you flowers. He's wearing a fedora.
See, to me, I'm like trying to make sure the guy I'm on a date with is not unemployed. I'm like, I just think men are so like, not that I would not date someone who's not unemployed.
But elitist, classist.
I know. But men to me were already at such, I'm like, I cannot imagine being straight because it feels like dating is not just dating. You're trying to suss out whether this person is a literal murderer, a like scam artist lowlife that's trying to steal all your money.
Sure.
And all of these things are not that crazy to think about. They're all like pretty plausible.
Yeah.
So I think to me, everything is kind of like okay, oh, that's interesting. I noticed that. I know.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's like how they talk about in a play.
Yes. Yeah.
Or on TV or in a movie or whatever, like if someone has a drink of alcohol, it's indicating to you that character is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because things are selected so intentionally in plays and in movies. Maybe TV a little less because TV is so long, depending on what kind of, if you're watching a miniseries or like a, 12-season show. But it's telling you they're an alcoholic because why else would they show you that if they didn't want you to infer something from it?
I will say I feel like every play I've ever seen, every man is drinking.
Everyone's an alcoholic.
Everyone's drinking alcohol and every woman is folding laundry.
Sure. Yeah, of course. Well, that's classic theater.
Yeah, it's classic theater.
This person says that they're from Wales.
Oh, I love it.
And in Wales, some people give their partner a wooden love spoon. They have different hand-on carvings on them, and that equals different love.
Oh. Like a motherly love,
platonic love, romantic love. I love that.
I'm mad at you that you've never gotten me that.
Okay, rude. And why would I get you a spoon? You should give me a spoon. I love spoons, and you don't like eating with spoons.
I don't. I love to eat with a fork.
Kendahl will eat everything with a fork.
Soup with a fork.
And if I bring her a spoon, she acts offended.
Well, because I'm like, what are you trying to get your steps in? You want to go back and get me a fork? I'm not going to want this. So I'm like, what is this game we're playing?
What? A spoon is so perfect.
I don't know. I just don't like it. I think
You know what's weird? Your mom's the same way. Your mom won't eat with a spoon either.
Really?
Yeah. One time I brought you and your mom, and this is so messed up because this is when you guys both had norovirus on Christmas, and I was taking care of both you and your mom.
And it was
You guys were
Nasty,
sick and you were
guys.
nasty, and I was waiting on you hand and foot, which it was my pleasure to do. But at one point, I brought you each spoons because we were having like broth or something, or like plain pasta towards the end of it, and you both like laughed in my face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was. Maybe that's why. I mean, I guess if you probably growing up, my mom served most stuff to me with a fork, so now I'm like, I don't want that.
That's so weird. Okay, this person says that in England, it's very popular to lose your virginity in a public park.
Of your virginity?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Actually, I guess that makes sense because it's kind of
What a 360 you've done.
At first, because I think in America we view that as like kinky, so it feels like, oh my god, public sex.
Oh, because we're
but
like
I'm like,
exhibitionists.
oh, they're probably like, I can't have sex in my house. I think in America a lot of people lose their virginity in the car.
True.
But where does she live? London?
She says it's a British thing.
Okay, I didn't know if she's in the city. I'm like, well,
Or
you
they
don't
say,
have
I
a
don't know
car,
who this person is.
but they're British.
They're British.
If they don't have a car, if it's like a city, it makes sense to do it in public.
Yeah. Why aren't they losing their virginity on the tube?
Okay, that's interesting. Is it illegal to have public sex in Britain?
I think it's illegal to have public sex everywhere in the world.
There's no way that's
John,
true.
you're a cop.
How would he know that? You've had sex publicly everywhere in the world? What?
No, doesn't that feel true?
Well, look it up.
John, can you Google it? Yeah.
Indeed.
It's indecent.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
It
be
might not
allowed.
be illegal, but it's indecent. Wait, John, look it up and tell us because I'm so curious. Because where would it be legal to have sex in public? And what did you say, that you want everyone to be allowed to have sex in public?
No, I'm just like, ugh, grow up, you guys. I don't know. I'm just like, it's
You
too-
want to watch a straight man and a straight woman have sex
No,
in public?
I don't want to, but there's a lot of things I have to see in public I don't want to see.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean? I'm like, I've seen people do the weirdest, most annoying stuff in public that I honestly would rather watch them have sex.
Sure.
And I think people,
Public sex in Germany, Guadalajara, Mexico, the Netherlands, and Denmark.
you can have sex in public in all of Germany.
Germany, the Netherlands,
Denmark?
Guadalajara, and where was the last one?
Denmark.
Denmark?
You have taken me to multiple of those places.
I've taken you to
and you've
3 out of the 4
never
places.
railed me in public. What is wrong with
John,
you?
can you clarify?
It's like in Denmark, it's one designated park.
Yeah, see, I knew it was that. I knew it was that because I'm sure it's the same in other places too.
Bucket
Because
list.
there's no. Yeah, you want me to take you to that park?
Please, wait, that's so fun.
There is no way that you can have sex in public anywhere in the Netherlands. I've been to the Netherlands so many times and I've never seen anyone
But
have
maybe
sex in
that's
public.
because it's like prohibition. It's like they
What?
made it legal so no one. Well, you know how when like they banned alcohol, everyone was like drinking more alcohol or when you ban anything, when you make anything illegal, it's like, oh, now it's illegal, so we all want to do
because
it.
it's legal,
I'm
nobody
like,
wants to have
maybe-
sex in public?
Yeah, maybe now.
I don't think that's true.
Well, because I'm like, so much of sex in public is the fact that it's so bad. Like I'm like, the draw is the taboo-ness of it. It's like, oh my god, you can't. It's illegal.
I feel
it's
like
so
the
trouble.
draw
You're gonna
is
get put
other
on like.
people watching you, not that it's illegal.
Oh, I feel like maybe I'm sure it's different for different people, but I feel like it's the naughtiness of it of like, oh my god, you could be put on his sex offender list.
That's what you think is sexy about it?
No, I didn't say that. I said
That's why you want me to rail you in that park?
No,
so you can
that
be a
would
sex
be
offender?
legal.
You pervert?
That would be legal. I think the idea of having sex outside is fun just because of the breeze, and I've always thought that would sound
beautiful.
nice.
If the weather was nice,
I've had sex outside before.
I have too. Can you imagine having sex outside if the weather's bad?
No.
Ugh.
During a tornado.
Wait, now it's hot again.
Wait, that's
That's
hot,
kind of scary,
actually.
right?
I had sex one time on. Should I say where? Oh, actually, I've had sex outside twice. I had sex outside the river on the side of the river in my hometown. But if you've been there, it was begging for it.
During the day?
Yeah, no one was there.
During the day?
Yeah, look, I'm no pussy.
Listen, I don't understand. I have nothing compels me to want to have sex outside. I'm not trying to get a rock up my butt.
Okay, well, you have more control over. I mean, me neither. But
You have more control over nature?
we were on a smooth rock.
What if a lizard?
Man,
Think.
yeah. that'd
Think
be-
for a second.
A lizard up the vag is not something I want to
Think
think
for
about.
1 second, please. Okay.
Okay, but public sex is more because that is not a thing in America, I would say.
No.
Public sex obviously happens, but it's very much like that is not right.
That's bad boy behavior.
It is similar to like doing like I would say like a hard drug out in public. People are like, "Oh no, they're going to get in big trouble."
I mean, sure, yeah, you'd get in big trouble.
And it's like done like I would say, I mean, obviously like anything stuff is done, but have you ever seen someone have sex on the subway?
I don't think I've seen people have full penetrative sex on
No,
the
that's
subway.
not what I mean. That's crazy. I guess
what
I
did you
mean
mean?
like touching each other on the subway.
That's not sex.
Jordan, you are a lesbian. You can't
I know,
say that.
but if you go, have you seen two people have sex on the subway?
Oh, I guess I mean
and
sexual
one of them's like a
relations.
little heavy petting on the lap. That's different. Yes, I've seen that.
Oh my God.
What?
That's crazy.
Really?
So naughty.
Oh, no. I feel like people used to get drunk and do crazy things on the
Oh,
subway.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This person says, well, hold on, let me suss this out. They say they're an English person dating an American person. They say, quote, I'm making a move when leaving. Oh, I understand. This English person is dating an American person. Apparently in England, it's common to say, I'm making a move, meaning I'm leaving. But their partner thought, I'm making a move, meaning sexually.
I could see how that would be uncomfortable.
That's confusing. I'm making a move and then you leave. I'd
You
be like,
walk
oh,
away.
I'm someone else, I guess.
Playing
Not
hard to get.
Me? Yeah. Interesting. This person says this is slightly off base, but their Danish boyfriend told them about their single at 25 cinnamon tradition. What does that mean? Hold on. Cinnamon tradition. I'm in such a panic to look this up. I spelled tradition. TRADITSHON.
Wow.
Okay. Hold on. Is it true? Okay. Is it true that if you are still single by your 25th birthday in Denmark, you get cinnamon thrown all over you?
What?
Recently learned about this tradition through a YouTube video. My British arse was amazed it was actually a thing, so I did some digging to see how often it really happens in Denmark nowadays, but I couldn't really find a definitive answer. Some say this tradition is dying out, some are saying they've never heard of it, some are saying it's only a thing in a certain area. All I was able to successfully find out is that it's been a tradition for a very long time, so I want to hear from y'all, is this really a thing people do in Denmark? One person said, when I turned 25, someone gave me a cinnamon bun instead of coating me in cinnamon.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah, this person said, I got homemade snickerdoodles and a small bag of old cinnamon spice that one of my friends gifted upon me after he'd gotten it for his 25th year. It's a tradition to do to unmarried people, but it also depends a lot on your friends and your family, depending on how bad it gets. My friends were sweet. They gave me cinnamon sticks.
Oh, that's sweet.
And they told me that I could use them to stir my coffee. Hold on.
So funny to explain what you could do with cinnamon sticks when someone gets them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Apparently it's more popular in like northern Denmark.
Do we have anything like that?
I don't know. Wait, I have to read you this one. I went to a friend's 25th birthday. She got tied to a tree in the garden and bombarded with a kilogram of cinnamon through a leaf blower.
Jesus Christ.
So I guess this is a real tradition, but it's like, and it's relationships don't count. You have to be married. It's not about whether or not you're single. You have to be married.
Married?
And I guess it's an old tradition, and depending on, some people do it in just like a cute, cheeky way, and some people, I guess, really do it in a
trying to teach you a lesson.
Wild way. Wow, that's fun.
I like it.
The more you know. We're journalists now. This person is from France, and they say, in France, we believe the person who gets the last drop of champagne will be the next to get pregnant. So people try to not have the last bit of champagne if they don't want to get pregnant.
Okay.
It's very interesting to me because I can also tell where like a lot of, I feel like, New Orleans traditions come from because it has so much French influence. But that's like, I feel like there are so many things like that in New Orleans.
Like what?
Where it's like, well, like with the king cake, if you get the baby, it's supposed to be good luck, but also it means next year you have to have Mardi Gras party at your house that you pay for and everything. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse in a way, depending on who you are. But, interesting. This person is Dutch, and they say that splitting the bill is totally acceptable and normal in the Netherlands. That's why going Dutch is a saying.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's literally so popular.
To split the check.
To split the check in the Netherlands.
I love it. Do you feel like you were always the one that would pay on a first date, or you would split the check on like a lesbian date?
I think a lot of times you would split unless I was like, but I don't think this happened that much until I met you. But I think a lot of times for a first date with a stranger or someone you met on an app, I think it felt normal to split because it's like, why? Especially because like I was meeting a lot of people. If I was like super rich or something, I would have just done it. But I think I was meeting a lot of people similar to me where we were like
let's see how
lower income freelance, just trying to like have a nice time. So I also went on a lot of dates where it was like we would both meet in the park and we would each bring something or whatever, especially like during COVID.
I feel like I always paid, but I also was not, I didn't go on many dinner dates. I think I was always like at a bar or out to coffee. So it felt very like, oh, let me grab your coffee, whatever. But also I was in a lot of credit card debt.
I think too, that's a big difference between LA and New York is that in New York, I feel like people only ever wanted to get coffee or get a drink. And if I asked someone to get dinner, they acted like I was absolutely unwell. You're
like
put
ready
in
for
an
commitment.
institution. And out here, a lot of people were like, "You want to grab dinner?" It was like very normal.
Whereas I feel like being me like, let me buy your drink is like more flirting versus like, oh, the check coming and you being like,
and you
oh,
guys had a $100 dinner on a first date or like whatever. I think the vibe is different.
Totally.
But if it was someone like, let's say like I had a big crush on like a friend. And finally, I worked up the courage to take them out. And I wanted to like take them out. And then I wanted to pay.
Who is this?
Colin. No. But you know what I mean? Like if it was like a situation more like that, I would understand paying. But I'm like, when you're just getting to know each other, if the thing is over like $15, I think it's like not crazy to split it.
Gentleman, Jordan.
But I don't think it gives gentleman energy. I think it creates a weird energy sometimes.
Really?
Once again,
not if you don't let it. Like I would be like I wouldn't be like, I think men, so I've heard from straight women in my life, that sometimes men are like, oh yeah, well every woman just wants to get a free meal and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm sorry, maybe some women, but there's no way that a woman is just like going on all these dates with like random men so she can get free dinner.
Yeah, of course not. That's not something I would do.
But so I think I've heard people be like, if they pay for dinner and then you're not interested or you don't want to go back to their house, they're a little like, not like in a scary way, but they're just kind of like, oh, you got a free meal out of me, huh? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I get being like, ew, but
I get that. I didn't really experience that when I was dating men, but I know it obviously happens. Once again, I think that's like a kind of maybe like a little more like different demographic of men than like the men, the very like kind of beta men I was dating. But I think there's like an energy of more like, is that funny to you, John? Is that funny to you?
She dated some real losers, I'll tell you that.
Kendahl.
I'm just kidding.
No, I just have, as you know, as you all know, very aggressive energy that was appealing to men that were maybe, feeling like having a lower status energy. John, what's your wife like? Does she have an alpha energy?
Oh, yeah, she's A-type.
I should have told you that. I love that. I actually think like weak man, strong woman is one of the most powerful combinations.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it to a certain degree. I think they can't be weak with you. You know what I mean? They can't be like actually weak. I think like there's a difference between like quiet and submissive and weak. And I feel like sometimes men that are like weak end up just being like, well, I don't want to tell my mom that she can't.
That's different. That's
kiss
mommy's
me on
baby.
the mouth.
That's mommy's baby, and we talked about that last week. We already went over mommy's baby last week. That's a totally
But
different
I think it'd
thing.
be similar, or they're just kind of like, well, I know none of my friends like my wife, but what am I supposed to do? That kind of energy. That's not.
That's different. That's like because that's like you don't actually like women. I'm talking about like because John's obsessed with his wife.
Oh yeah. Oh no. John,
you know that you're obsessed with your wife, and is she mean to you sometimes? Yeah, absolutely, and she should be, and I love that. And you're very calm, and you're very like.
But you need that.
know?
You have to have a calm and a not calm.
But you have to genuinely love your wife. And that dynamic only works if you're like obsessed. Do you know what I mean? And he's obsessed.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's like wife guy. It's like that's where I'm saying it works. It's not weak. It's like I'm a little more quiet, but I would do anything for my wife. Versus like I'm just weak in general. So like no matter what anyone
weak in general. Kendahl, please.
I'm just in an argumentative mood.
You really are.
Anything Jordan says, I'm like, no.
John weak. Is that not okay?
I know. I was desperately trying to make it John not feel
He knows
bad.
what I mean. He's weak for his wife, and I think that's good.
I get that. I'm weak for my wife.
I
you know
am
what's
too.
sick? You're weak for we.
Yeah.
You're weak for your wife.
No,
too.
it's so true. I think it's actually good. I think it's really healthy.
Ooh, weak for wife is a good T-shirt.
Okay, new podcast.
Sure, we'll just start a new podcast.
I think there's an energy sometimes, not in beta men. I think there's an energy sometimes in weird men and women, honestly. I've had women do this too, where they're like, I'll pay the check. And you're kind of like, relax.
That's
Do you know what I
me.
mean? Like it feels, yes, it is you. And it's embarrassing.
No, it is not. It shows that I'm rich. And that's a good thing.
So funny. That's what your dad used to do.
My dad. That's my.
And how did that work out for him?
Well, that's different. He didn't have money. So that's different. I have a little bit of money, I could say. My dad's dream, I wish I could give it to him. If my dad was still alive and I was like, had more money, I would, for his birthday, take him to a bar and be like, at midnight, you get to scream one round on me.
Yeah, round on me for everybody.
And I'd let him, I know that's his dream. Although, honestly, he probably did that. I'm like, he probably already did that.
Yeah.
He had like no money and he probably he loved paying for stuff. But I'm the same way. It feels good.
Yeah.
To go like, I think especially.
Kendahl loves it, and we've talked about this before. Kendahl loves to be like, baby, get whatever you want. I'm like, it's my money. What are you talking about? We have like a joint money situation.
No, but because it's different because you know what? In joint bank accounts, and you know what? You should really think about this. A lot of people who have joint money, their husband or their wife is always going, no, you can't have that. You can't have that because it's joint. I'm like, hey, I know this is our money, but you get whatever you want.
Kendahl's a hero if you think about it.
I mean, what are you even complaining about with that?
I'm not complaining.
Think about that.
I literally didn't complain
My
at
wife
all.
always lets me have whatever I want.
I literally didn't complain at all. Can we backtrack to where I complained? We can't because it didn't happen. Honey, it didn't happen. Wow.
I love to pay for stuff. Is that all? Know what feels crazy to me is that we have a fan from France. It makes me feel like I need to like apologize for some things I've said about France.
No, not every. France is fine. What do you mean?
You never say that. You always say France, they're not nice to you. And you
No,
speak
I
French.
say French people can be very rude, specifically people in Paris. And that's true, and everybody knows that.
But every place has their positives because what I will say, oh my God, when we were in the Paris airport,
Kendahl is obsessed with this. We were in the Paris airport
horny. I was
for
like
literally 4 minutes doing a connection after our flight was late where we were running. And one man was like, oh, are you late? You can go in this line. And Kendahl, as we're running, we're trying to run to our next flight to get back to America. Kendahl's like, everyone's being so nice.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
Yes, you were.
Everyone was so hot. I was going to say that everyone in the airport.
Who are you talking about?
The two women that worked at the gate.
That's the only people you're talking about.
I thought I was at a Victoria's Secret fashion show. I said, oh, Jordan, we went to the wrong gate. We went to the sexy model gate. They were so pretty. Every person there was like so beautiful. But not just beautiful, like they were already naturally beautiful and they're like beat to the gods, but in like a very natural way with like their hair is like flawlessly blown out. Like everything is, I'm like, isn't it? Like, what time is it? Haven't you been here for like 8 hours? How do you look like that? So I would say everyone in France is very beautiful. But hello to our French listener. Very exciting.
Yeah, we'll stop talking bad about France. We'll be more clear that we're only talking bad about Paris.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not our friend Paris.
Not our friend Paris Adkins. You know, Paris had a TikTok that went viral.
What was it?
Paris and their partner broke up
and went to the concert,
and they had to go to the Lucy Dacus concert together.
Had
and then
to?
Didn't have
had to.
Yeah, had to because lesbians are unwell. But they went to the Lucy Dacus concert together and then like made a TikTok being like, we broke up 4 months ago and now we're at the Lucy Dacus concert, and then like cried the whole time, and it went really viral. And it was so funny because I commented on it when it was like I was like the first person to see it because Paris and I are actually friends in real life. So I commented on it and I was like, oh no, or whatever. And then like it started going viral, and then people were like interacting with me being like, okay, well, this is not that bad, or like, you actually don't have to say anything, or like whatever.
You're like, wait, no,
and I was like, no, these are people I know, which is very funny. But Paris
did
and
Lucy Dacus see it?
Huge shout out to you guys. I have no clue what happened.
It's hilarious.
But I hope you're both healing.
I mean, yeah, it probably was kind of healing. Or they got back together at the end of it. Who knows?
All right. Well,
honestly,
text us and let us know.
I actually could find out. Maybe I'll text them.
We'll text and we'll report back to you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, Kendahl, the episode's over. It's been about an hour.
Good. It's been great.
It's been good. It's been great. It's been
good
about
to see
an hour.
you. It's awesome.
good to see you. Yeah.
It is good. It's good to see you.
It is good to see you.
Good to see you like this.
It's good to see you professionally.
Yeah. No, but it is interesting.
It actually really is.
Well, because we're not very professional privately.
Absolutely not.
No.
And that's all we'll say about that.
So, stop flirting with me. Okay, bye, you guys.
Okay,
Thank you
bye.
so much for being here. Oh, we need to say stuff that you say at the end of a
comment,
podcast.
subscribe, join the Patreon. Kendahl and I pay for everything. We need your help.
SOS.
Love you.
This is awful.
Happy
Help us.
Monday.
Happy Monday. Bye.